did you let it happen?
Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined.
Okay, so let's talk about the guns. So starting off, we got the Blue Beetle. Uh, Only reason we have anything on here is for defensive master, and I just started using this whenever I swap weapons, get 25 weapon speed, and 32 defense for 5 seconds. Could buff it up to about 100% defense, but it's not necessary. That's all we're using on this build. We don't really care about the rolls on the weapon, except you want sprint speed and you want grappling hook, or you can go both sprint speed or both grappling hook. Either way is fine. ATAMs, I haven't even used this weapon yet, but it's going to be my Sharen weapon. So when I actually do get this built out, I'll show you guys. But till then, it is what it is. It's very unnecessary to use this gun, but to each his own. So next we got the Voltia. Of course, we use this for shields. I like using Analyst Master for the team. So on hit, enemy firearm crit hit resistance is -25 for 10 seconds. It goes unnoticed, but it's really good, and I feel like it's going to be a place for it when season 3 drops. So yeah, keep an eye on for this mod. This is pretty good. And high voltage, and the rest we got the usual suspects everywhere, so that's that in the gun. So before we get into the build, I want to talk about the unique ability really quickly. So for Sharen, we're only using the fusion skill, so arcane energy. So when using a fusion skill, grants self unique ability arcane energy with a set chance. So arcane energy, we're going to get 115% skill crit hit rate for 10 seconds. But as long as you keep using your unique abilities, you'll always get this 115%. So keep this in mind to the end of the video. So on to the build. So we're running area suppression. This might be the most overpowered build in the game far as non-void erosion purge. So anything else in the game that you want to do, you can stomp any and everything else in the game with this build, like easily. No nothing. So area suppression might be like the strongest mod in my opinion, because it's like you can take down single targets and you can take down mobs at the same time, and it's just like infinite daggers. And so let's look at the abilities real quick. So Assassinator. So when in ambush state, killing the enemy uses a skill reset the active camouflage cooldown. The effect gains cooldown when attacking, increases damage against enemies who are targeting the caster. Self-explanatory. So the 4. So our 4 is doing 285% skill power. So it might not sound like a lot, but when you times it by the 20 daggers, and if you stand in front of like an elite or anything with this attack, it'll be like 6 daggers times 2 million. So any enemy that you run across, they're getting wiped. If you go use your 2 first and then hit the 4 every single time, you'll always max out 100% crit. Cause where is it at? Well, the 3 shock nuts, pretty good. Stuns enemies when you don't have your 4 up for whatever reason. This is it right here. So ambush duration for 10 seconds, outgoing damage increase, skill crit hit rate increase. Keep that in mind as well. And we don't really care about the firearm crit. I haven't shot a gun with Sharen in about 2 months, so so you want to pay attention to that 22%. That's important. And we got the 1. This is hitting for like 4 to 5 million per swing, and this is coming right back. So yeah, that's pretty much all the abilities. But yeah, so let's talk about the mods. So you guys know what area suppression is, so we don't have to go over that. You get short swords, and they go in a circle and they just leave a mess. We'll just say that. Nimble fingers for cooldown. Fusion skill power, fusion amplification. So this is where the build gets real tricky that I've yet to see anybody talk about or make note of. So how I make this work is, first off, the Blue Beetle will leave you with 115% skill crit hit chance. Sharon's ambush effect gives you a bonus 22%. So we're at about 140 already. So by that point, you're getting your 115 from this and from this. So you're already at 140. So if you even just take this and take these 2, you'll be at 3%. So then 3% plus 22, 25 plus the 115 on the Blue Beetle, that puts you at a grand total of 140. So yeah, nobody seemed to take advantage of this and see that like you can bypass the crit rate if you set it up properly. But I just don't think anybody took the time to see this, and you're just doing way more damage. And mind you guys, this is before you even get into your arcade tuning. You really don't even need the arcade tuning with this build. She is slapping for at least $1 mil without arcade tuning. So yeah, so we got increased HP, more skill power modifier. The key to these builds, anything under 1,000 skill power, put on skill power modifier. This counts for your electric damage as well as the fusion damage. So I like skill simplification. I could go with what's it called? Focus on fusion, but I don't really see the need for more cooldown. I feel like I got enough cooldown, so I just said I'm gonna go with more power. So yeah, 68, it's like 15%, 16%, whatever. It's not that big of a deal. If you want more cooldown, go with the cooldown. Me, I'm gonna go with the skill power modifier. And you're losing 25% of your MP too. So, but I never feel the effects of that, so it's never really noticeable. But if you don't like it, go focus on fusion. You'll still get the same amount of power, maybe even a little bit more with the if you have like a fusion skill boost on your reactor. So I'm not 1,000% sure, but this just destructs, so I'm not changing it. We got increased HP, frontline, so we're getting all our damage. We're not losing no crit hit damage at all. More crit hit damage. Focus on electric skill power. Skill insight for that 115, and decimator. Okay, so let's talk about decimator, because this is really interesting right now. So being as though you're doing so much damage, sometimes you won't be able to even proc this. It's crazy, but you won't be able to proc it unless you attack them outside of invisible area suppression. So when you use her, try to sometimes just sneak an attack in without going ambush on them. So I still rock decimator. I'm going to try to find something else I could probably use in here, because it's barely proccing a lot of times, unless you're going solo. I believe it's always working, but in group play this is really tough to get off, especially when you're doing like just one tap and everything. You don't even get to debuff the enemy. So that's that. We got MP conversion for more cooldown, and that's the kit. And just check this out. Look at all the buffs and non-buffs, and you know what I mean. So like, again, almost stack these two together, you're getting about 145 skill power modifier. That's way better than actual skill power. So you want a base skill power, but it always works way better for all the characters. When you see your skill power this low, do not look at regular skill power. Always look at skill power modifier. Okay? So, alright, so remember, guys, the unique ability. Get your 115%. And the reactor is maxed out. You want your reactor maxed out. It's a slight buff in damage, but you want to be at max power with this build. This is clean in every clock in the game right now, except Void, Erosion, Purge. But yeah, that's that. These the Slayer set. You guys already know what Slayer do. Don't gotta explain it. You got max HP, MP recovery out of combat. Out of combat is when you go invisible, when you're just not getting shot at. That's all out of combat means. For as long as you're not getting shot at, your MP will recover. MP recovery in combat, max HP, max MP, great rolls, same shit. MP recovery modifier, toxin resistance, shield recovery, and that's the reactors and the components. So next, let's check out the inversion points. So really quickly, select the neural stimulation, biodensity augmentation. We want more HP. Sometimes we'll switch this for adrenaline rush, but who cares? Yeah, like, where am I running to? So I stopped thinking about speed running. Mind you, you'll finish a mission in 3 minutes with her. This just for the 24% skill cooldown, so we want that. And if I ever get a gun build, I'll put one of these on, but we don't use guns with Sharen. She just does a kickflip and destroys everything. So, alright, on to the arcade tune in. We can get up out of here. So apparently this node right here is broken, so we should be doing more damage. They're saying that it's doing less, but once this is fixed, you'll be doing more damage, but it does not affect my build, so I don't even touch it. I don't care. I go this way, and like I told you guys on the last video, when you're doing your chart, makes your build feel more quality of life. If it's not giving your character and how you play the game quality of life, don't do it. Don't just look at somebody's chart and say, oh, I want to build it that way. You might see a difference. You might say, you know what, I want to put more gun damage on this build. So you don't just follow mine. This is just to show you what to look like, what you can look at, what's good. Like this has no effect on the build, but I got it. I'll switch it up for this if necessary, but it's not, because we don't have any Colossus to kill in this game right now. Let me know when we get one, and I'll definitely throw this shit on. But for Tormentor, I'll laugh at that. I'm not making no builds for Tormentor or Void Erosion Purge. I'm just not making builds for that stuff, guys. All these things is for the developers to look at or for season 3. Other than that, I could care less about a 1 second kill or anything. But yeah, guys, so well, that's basically the build, and I got a quick solo run for you guys. Sharen is absolutely busted. I hear everybody talking about Bunny. No, Sharen is the one to go with. If you want a character, you don't have to worry about bosses or you have to worry about mobs. Sharen is your character. And that's it, gang. I mean, Glacier next, and we back. And enjoy this footage. And like and subscribe. Thank you. Peace.
This is Hound Action, reporting extreme concentrations of void energy within the operation zone. All units, please proceed at your own discretion. Do not exceed your limits.
Activated state. Activated state.
transport support.